Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to a brand new video here today and some more F1 2020 My Team career mode content on the channel. Today we are here for round 3 at Vietnam, one of the most interesting tracks on the calendar, of course. Very much divides opinion amongst you guys, the fans of F1, and me personally, I don't like the track that much, but Sector 3 is great fun, so I'm looking forward to it. But guys, if you missed the last episode at Bahrain, it was pretty historic. Something really special happened, so go check it out, guys. I'll leave a link up in the top right hand corner of your screen. Let's just say Mick Schumacher has made a splash in F1. That's the best way to say it, I think. Either way, we're going to get this episode underway, guys. So drop me a like if you're going to enjoy the video and subscribe for more daily F1 2020 content, and let's get this video underway. Here we go then, jumping into the laptop, and a bit of a different format in today's video because we first and foremost have a classic event to take care of, which I did. I managed to get a perfect score. That means we're going to get an extra $150,000 and $1,000 on the acclaim bonus, which is great news for us. And heading into this episode, I had a look, and it turns out Mick Schumacher has now gone back down to 69 rating. It was 75 in the first race, but I believe he benefited from some kind of driver training. So Mick is now back down to a more regular level, let's say, and we now move into this weekend. The weather forecast looks good. Also worth noting in terms of upgrades, we have 2 upgrades on the car this weekend, one for the chassis and one for the fuel consumption. Both of those are minor ones, but we do close the gap to the teams ahead, and we're getting really close in that midfield area. We've also got a major engine upgrade on the way, and that's going to help us out massively moving forward. That will arrive for the next race at China, so we're going to try and hopefully add yet another engine upgrade at the end of this episode, guys. So hopefully we'll have some big engine upgrades on the way, and we'll keep pushing forward, and the car will keep improving into the future races. But we now move into practice here at Vietnam with our brand new, of course, paint livery, which we debuted 2 races ago. The matte black, metallic blue, looking absolutely insane with the custom number font, and practice went well. We managed to go P1 by 6/10 of a second, and of course with that hitting our gold bonus for one of our sponsors. So already we're ticking that off the list, and also a really good amount of R&D points, actually, about around 650 points combined between myself and Mick, which is really good, and our total now up to 1,421. So things are looking really positive heading into qualifying. And also in terms of the team acclaim as well, we didn't really gain much ourselves, of course, being on level 12, but Mick did gain quite a fair bit, and he's getting very close now to level 10. And also as a team, we're closing in now on getting to that halfway point and slowly going up to level 16. But with that said, we now move into qualifying here at Hanoi for the Vietnam Grand Prix, and this is of course Q1, and we're going to see if we have the pace to try and compete. Of course, in the last weekend, Mick Schumacher got into Q2 in Bahrain, and things were looking pretty damn good. We got into Q2 in Australia, I believe, so we've got a good run of Q2 so far this season. We've both had one each, and I can't lie, boys, this was my first run in qualifying, and it was horrific. It was one of the worst first laps, there we go, I've ever done in any qualifying session. It was so scruffy, a lot of mistakes, and generally it wasn't a particularly good lap. So if we get anything out of this, I'll be very surprised as we now go through the final corner, trying to avoid the wall on the right hand side across the line, and we go P7 ahead of Grosjean, actually, so that's quite surprising. We managed to out-qualify Haas with a really bad, there was a few mistakes, but it was generally a really bad lap. We then move on to our second attempt, and this was my best lap of Q1. Here we go through the final corner, opening up the DRS. We do brush the wall a little bit, but we do improve by quite a lot, 7.5 tenths, and we move all the way up to P13. And at the time, I thought that was enough We then cut on to the final run, and I'm currently P14. Cars are improving now rapidly. This is the final runs in qualifying 1, and cars are setting personal best left, right, and centre, and we're getting pushed down the order gradually. And you can see we are 2.5 tenths up here, so we are improving. But I know I'm the last car to cross the line, and once I saw everyone cross the finish line, I realised they weren't going to improve and knock us out. Therefore, I actually went to the pit lane to save the tyres, because it means we're going to have that set, which is the only one we're going to have. It's going to be partly used, but it's going to be the only ones we have for Q2, because we used all of our tyres in Q1. Unfortunately, Mick got knocked out in 18th place in Q1, which is a shame. But having said that, you know, we have pretty good pace around here. We was pretty quick last year as well, so I think this is a strong track for me, whereas Bahrain was a good one for Mick last time out. Either way, we now run on board, guys, for a full lap of Vietnam in Q2. Now I'm going to pick up the comms here, heading into the final corner, because we make a bit of a mistake. I clip the inside wall, and that sends me wide, picking up some understeer and losing a bit of my front wing. So unfortunately, we do collect orange damage, but luckily for us, we still go P13, which is really, really good. To be fair, the lap was great. It was our best lap of the weekend, and even with the mistake, we went P13, which is insane. I think had I not made the mistake, we could have got P12 quite easily, to be honest with you. You know, by less than a tenth, Gasly managed to out-qualify us, so it's a shame we missed out on a P12, but generally we've got good pace around here, and the car seems competitive, so really, really happy with it. The upgrades have worked, and it's been a really solid session. But we now move into the race for round number 3 of the season for the Vietnam Grand Prix.
Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow?
Yeah, really, really happy. The car was phenomenal. I'm ecstatic. It's been a really good session. Could have been better, but I'm not complaining.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. You know, it was a bit of a messy one, but ultimately we still set a good lap, so I'm not too concerned.
Appreciate your time.
And there we go then. I had to lie a little bit on the second PR answer, I can't lie, boys. But in terms of the rivalry breakdown, we do out-qualify Lando Norris, which is mega. So we're now 7-5 ahead in the rivalry. And also worth mentioning on the team acclaim, we do gain a very small bit, which is really hard for me to really gain acclaim now in this career mode. But in terms of us as a team, we're gradually getting closer to that level 16. But guys, there we go then. Qualifying done and dusted, in the bag. And we are now ready for the race for round 3 here at Vietnam. And hopefully we can try and make it a 3rd points finish in a row.
The Formula One circus has arrived in Southeast Asia once more, as we usher in a new era and get ready to go racing here in Vietnam. A lap of Hanoi circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital. A number of the 23 corners take their inspiration from other great circuits, hopefully creating plenty of passing opportunities. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Perez, Ricciardo, Albon, Stroll and Carlos Sainz, Ocon, Gasly, Martinez and Norris, Raikkonen, Kvyat, Antonio Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher, Magnussen, Grosjean, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Right guys, so here we go. It's time for the race at Vietnam, starting from 13th place on the grid. Really good qualifying for us, and we're going to get the benefit, of course, of the free tyre choice. So we are going to take full advantage of it by starting on the medium tyres and then running 2 stints on the softs. You know, I'm thinking of my options here, and the thought of starting on softs is tempting to me, to be fair, as well, if we get a good start, but Vietnam is so narrow at the start. I really can't see myself making much progress. If I do, I'll be genuinely surprised. And it's not a regular track where you can make big lap on progress, I don't think. So with that in mind, I'm going to try and go on the mediums, go a bit longer on the first stint, trying to get an overcut possibly, and that would get us right into the race. So hopefully that pays off. Fuel-wise, we're going to run 1 lap extra. I think that's a pretty safe option, to be honest. And yeah, overall, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun race. No rain expected, and it seems like we have good pace here. So let's get into it, and let's have a little bit of racing action here at Vietnam. Right then, here we go. Let's build up the revs to about 11,500, give or take. The lights are on, and it's lights out, and away we go. Oh, not the best one. Quite a bit of wheel spin, in fairness. We're going to go to the outside here in turn 1. Try our luck. Oh, nice bit of space. I like that. Around the outside all the way. Yellow flag. That's what I'm talking about. Up to P10. Getting a lot of understeer though through there, through turn 2. We're going to have to hold it around the outside of Stroll, who's behind us. But crucially, we keep him behind. Really, really good start from us. Let's keep Stroll behind for one more corner here. We're going to have to cover the inside into the chicane. AI going to brake really, really early here, so I've got to be cautious. Inside line for us through here. Stroll still keeping his nose tucked in, but we do manage to get the corner. And there we go, up to P10. Brilliant stuff. I'll tell you what, I didn't expect that. What a start of the race, but we're not out of the woods just yet. We've now got to get past the back straight. Stroll, of course, getting a slipstream in the racing point. We're going to get a nice tow, though, from Carlos Sainz up ahead. What are the tyres looking like? Okay, rear tyre wear already kicking in. I'm going to just turn the differential down a little bit. The AI always brake really early into the hairpin on this game, so I've got to be careful. I've been hitting the rear before, last season I remember, getting tapped in the rear, but this time we seem to be okay. Struggling for a bit of rear grip, but, you know, not too bad. Lap 1, though. Drawing to a close, and we're in the top 10. That is a dream scenario for us. Oh, Mick
is in the pits. Mick in the pits.
Mick's in the pit lane already. Something's happened. That's a shame. Some kind of damage, I'm guessing, to his front wing. Either way, he'll be in a different strategy now, on a contra strategy. So, you know, it's a 2-stop race, and maybe he's still got a chance. Running by himself, he could run at a good pace, maybe in clean air, and still make it work. You know, the car is pretty quick around here, so you never know. Maybe Mick could find something. Oh, yellow flag. Is that in front or behind? We're about to find out where that is. I think it's in front of us, actually. Oh, it's Sainz right in front of us, literally. Sainz.
Information on signs. They are out of the race.
No smoke, so clearly some kind of maybe electrical issue. But that's Sainz out in the McLaren. We're not up to P9 in this race. On the medium tyres, we are looking great for some points here already, guys. What a start to the race. Absolutely insane. No need for a replay on that one. You saw exactly what happened to the McLaren driver there. All right then, let's see if we can try and keep up with the leaders a little bit. Find some pace on these. At the moment, I can't quite shake off the cars behind. I don't think my pace is terrible because we're keeping the cars in front in check. They're not really pulling away that much, but at the moment, the triple DRS zone around here is keeping Stroll in play. And to be fair, it looks like my straight line speed is actually pretty average. Stroll's definitely going to get the run of me this time.
Some information on Leclerc. They seem to have an issue.
Okay, that's ahead of us. That's good news, but we've got bigger fish to fry in the sense that Stroll is about to make a move on us here. We're going to have to cover the inside and show him to the outside here. A little bit of ERS, tactical, you know, using it quite late. On the inside line into the hairpin, we're going to go. Put Stroll onto the curb, and there we go. We hold him back for now. But yeah, this triple DRS zone is really hurting us quite badly. I am low on straight line speed, so we've got to try and find something here. We need those softs to start fading on other cars around us. I'm working hard to try and pick up my pace here and open up a gap to Stroll. It's working well. We're stretching the cars behind. We're also closing in the ones in front. Leclerc, of course, running with some car issues. As we go into the chicane here, I'm trying to see if I can get that 1 second gap to Stroll. It's about 9/10 at the minute, very close to a second. Last lap, Stroll wasn't able to hang on, and to be fair, the gap is just under a second. He's going to hang on. My exit there let me down, which is a shame. Otherwise, we could have cleared Stroll out of the RS range. Leclerc getting overtaken by Albon in front as well. Let's see if we can try and close in on the Ferrari man. Personal best from us. Good pace on that lap. Trying to close in and get some DRS off of Charles Leclerc, which would help me out quite a lot, to be fair. Right, we're tucked in behind Mr. Charles Leclerc here. I think if I can get a good exit, I can pass Leclerc and also get out of Stroll's DRS in the process, maybe. The 2 for 1. Maybe not. Looks like Stroll's just managed to hang on to DRS there. Now, can we pass the Ferrari on the straight? That's going to be tricky, but looks like Leclerc's struggling for engine mode. He's got no power, so we're going to just breeze past, get the shorter line, get the car slowed down for the hairpin, and there we go. We've got Perez and Ricciardo battling up ahead, so it looks like the soft tyres now just starting to struggle a little bit, and now's our chance to make some progress here, up to 8th place in this race. Oh, and Leclerc pits, so that's not going to hold up Stroll that much, but still, looks like Hamilton's in as well for Mercedes. Another personal best for us on that lap, and we've now got a 1.3 second gap to Lance Stroll, which is perfect. So that's worked out beautifully for us. Let's see if we can push on this last lap before most of the soft tyre runners abandon their stints. Ocon, Stroll battling behind. That's absolutely perfect for us. I've now put myself on the back of Alex Albon here, who's behind Ricciardo and Perez. So we're really in this race. We've got a chance of some really high points. I think our strategy could be key, running the 2 soft tyres later on in the race. Of course, one of those sets will be used, and they'll be quite used because we used them quite badly in qualifying, but you never know, we could still get something out of this. As I'll say that, Ricciardo and Perez pit in. Albon says that for one more. That's because Verstappen's probably in the pit lane, so let's see if we can get past Alex this lap, because he's going to be struggling on those tyres now. We should move up to P2 in this race.
Careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
And we do. Right, let's close in on Alex here. Albon pits, there we go, he peels off. I'm probably going to stay until lap 13. I'm going to go a lap longer because I've got to compensate for the worn soft tyres we're going to have to use. So, yeah, the next stint will be on fresh.
We're boxing this lap.
No, we're not. We're going to stay out for one more at least. I want to compensate, so we'll box next lap, go for softs, fresh softs, and then we'll pit on lap 21 probably, or lap 20 for the used set. Right then, we're going to pit this lap. We've gone 1 lap longer. We're now going to go into fresh softs, and we should be able to stay on those until hopefully lap 20, 21, and then we'll run a used set for the final stint because the used ones are really used. Here we go, and then pushing the pit entry. It's a really slow one. It's only 60 kilometers an hour, so you've got to be careful. I was tempted to switch my strategy and go for the hard tyres, but I feel like they're not a good tyre around here. I'm not too happy with it. You know, ultimately, this isn't the best car, so this car on hard tyres does struggle a bit as well. So I feel like we'll benefit mostly from softs. But we'll see how this one shakes out. If we can re-jump behind Albon on the soft tyres, that would be fantastic. Let's see where we are, though.
Go, go, go.
2.2. Here comes Albon and Leclerc, and also Gasly right behind them. And there's Ocon and Stroll on hard tyres.
We'll be doing one more stop today. 1 stop left in our strategy.
We're going to push the pit exit, and oh my god, we've just rejoined ahead of Gasly there. Very cheeky. I didn't think I'd be ahead of Gasly still. Very nice indeed. Albon in front on the hard compound tyres. Leclerc on softs. Made a mistake. I've pressed the wrong button on the MFD. Got to be careful here. Right, there we go. We should be okay to stay in front of Gasly now. But we're going to have Leclerc versus Albon. Albon struggling on those hard tyres. Like I mentioned, you know, they weren't a good tyre. We've got to let Leclerc get the move done first, though, and then we'll try and follow him through. This is our chance now, though, to use these soft tyres and hopefully get some real benefit out of them. Here goes Leclerc. Oh, maybe not. Can we get them both? Oh my goodness me. Here we go to the outside. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. We get them both on the straight. Absolutely unreal. We're using quite a chunk of our ERS, it has to be said. But we do make the move. Leclerc down the inside. Oh my goodness me. What a dive bomb from the Ferrari. We're going to hold it, though, and keep him at bay for now. And we're up to P7 on the soft tyres. Perez and Ricciardo on hards. Up ahead. This is looking now like a really tasty race. Of course, if Perez and Ricciardo go to the end, that's going to make it even more tasty because we're going to have to overtake them, pit, and then catch them back up again. So this is going to be really, really fun. I'm looking forward to this. Lads, we've got some pace here. I don't know if Leclerc's still got issues with his car, hence why he didn't pass Albon, but we're pulling away 1.3 clear. We are now flying up to the back of Perez and Ricciardo here. This is really becoming a lively race, and I'm all here for it. We've got some good pace around here now. Yeah, Leclerc definitely still has issues. Gasly's now overtaken him, so he's the next car behind us, Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. We've now got DRS on Perez, so we've got to try and look for a way through. Personal best from us. Let's see what we can do in terms of getting past both of these guys, and we need to pass them quickly so that we can still use the soft tyres and get the maximum benefit out of the grip. I know that AI don't often use their overtake mode on this straight here, so we may have a chance on this one. We can get a good exit, which we do. Let's see. Looks like Perez is using overtake this time though. The AI don't often though, so that might make him vulnerable onto the back straight. We're going to try and set up a bit of a switchback through the hairpin section. There we go, on the inside we go. Using the grip, soft tyres are just so much quicker. Can we get Hulkenberg now for good measure? Or should I say Ricciardo, sorry. Been watching the real life F1 this weekend, of course, at Silverstone. Perez looking for the re-overtake. He's using quite a lot of engine juice to get the move, but we're going to tuck into the slipstream here. We're going to pull to the right-hand side, the shortest run down to the next corner. And there we go, we make the move. Going to take an early apex just to defend my line. Perez trying it around the outside, and he tries to make it stick, and I think he has made it stick to be fair, but we're through. P5 in this race. Wow. Let's go, boys. Ooh, fast lap of the race, 35.9. Look at that, really good pace. I really hope the next set on the used tyres hold up, even though they're going to be quite worn out. I just hope they give us some performance. It's going to be an exciting end to the races, I'll tell you. So don't go anywhere, boys. I'm expecting all those on hard tyres to stay out to the finish and not pit again, so it's going to make for a really tense ending. I kind of need Gasly to get stuck in and try and pass Ricciardo and Perez to cost them time. Okay, Gasly in the pit lane, so we've got to bear that in mind, of course, for later on. Hopefully we can still feed out ahead of him once we do our final stop. We are approaching our final stop now, 3 more laps to go. I'm going to try and pit on lap 21. I think that would make the final stint absolutely fine on those used tyres, and we wouldn't notice it that badly. I'm trying to push as much as I can. We are starting to lose the benefit of the soft tyres. I want to see if I can get myself within Verstappen's DRS and just keep pushing, trying to build that gap to Ricciardo and Perez behind us. Okay, we're now stuck behind these guys. Gap to Perez, 5.8. I need both of these two to pick up the pace so I can basically follow them along, really, and that's going to give us the best possible result in this. I don't think I've got the pace to pass them in terms of the tyre grip. I think we're losing a bit of traction now, but if I can, I'll try it, but I'm not too confident. But if the gap keeps going up to Perez, I don't mind just sitting behind and waiting. Hamilton costing Perez a bit of time and Ricciardo by battling with them. Perfect scenario. I'm now tucked in behind Verstappen here. I'm just looking at my tyre wear. I'm considering if I can go to the finish, but I don't think I can. We're going to pass Max here though. I've got the engine mode for it, so we're going to try and make it happen. Here we go. To the outside. Going to have to go quite deep into the hairpin and swing around. Getting a bit loose for good measure, but there we go, we're through. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to box next lap. I've still got pace on these, so we're going to try and pass Leclerc as well, or should I say Sebastian Vettel actually. My bad. Bottas in the pit lane. That's going to give Sebastian Vettel the net race lead. 1-2 for Seb and Verstappen, so those two are going to be leading the Vietnam Grand Prix. Let's see who comes out ahead. Will it be Bottas ahead of Hamilton, or will Hamilton remain ahead of Bottas? Let's see. Meanwhile, I'm focused on trying to get as much out of this stint as I can, and trying to get DRS off of Sebastian Vettel to try and get the pace up. Looks like Lewis has just rejoined ahead of Bottas. That's going to be a battle to the finish between the two teammates. Right, here we go then. Can we pass the Ferrari engine on the straight? We're gaining pretty comfortably actually. Looks like Seb hasn't got a lot of engine mode saved up. Here we go. Doesn't even defend the line, so we're going to walk past, and we're going to take the lead once again in the Vietnam Grand Prix. We're now going to pit this lap. So let's have a strong final sector. Right, here we go then. It's time to stop for another set of the soft tyres, which have been absolutely brilliant for us in this first stint, and I'm going to use them again. Get it also down to the 60, and there we go. Perfect entry. We're going to benefit, of course, from the nature of the short pit lane, where the exit cuts the final couple of corners, and also the entry cuts the final couple of corners, and the exit cuts the first couple as well. So it's actually quite a quick pit lane, even though it's 60 k's per hour. You do make a big benefit. Here come Perez and Ricciardo then, so that's the gap we've got to make up in this final stint. It's going to be really, really tricky, but we'll give it a crack. Here we go, soft tyres again.
Complete, go now.
2-second stop, Albon ahead of us. Of course, we was ahead behind him when we pit last time. That's how quick we've been in this stint. Here we go.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
All right, then we're comfortably P8 in this race, so we are going to score points. The question is, how many are we going to score? Albon 2.7 up the road. He's the next man. Let's get after him. A great outlap from us. That's going to give us DRS now on Alex Albon, and we are really flying. We've gained 1.5 on Ricciardo on the outlap alone. At this pace, we'll catch him again, and we'll get a chance to repass both of them. Him and Perez, of course. Let's see, let's try and get past Albon first. Try and close the gap a little bit, heading into the tight chicane and into the hairpin, then we'll try and get him on the exit. Here we go. Let's put him under some pressure. Using the fresh rubber, we've got a lot more pace and grip. We almost lose our front wing there, running into the back of him. Just got to get this exit right, really, really important. Which we do, lots of grip on these tyres. Here we go then, nice easy move. I don't even have to use that much overtake at the moment. I'm going to wait a little bit until the DRS becomes available. Now we'll crank it up, here we go. It's time to make the move. Get a nice slipstream, pull out, turn off the overtake. And we're through. Easy move, P7, let's go boys. Gap to Ricciardo 5.3. We can do this. I can smell P5 here today. Right, we've got DRS on Ricciardo. We've got 3 laps to do this to get past Danny Brick once again and Sergio Perez for P5 in this race. It's definitely achievable, especially if the 2 cars in front battle like they are right now. It's going to make it a hell of a lot easier for me. Let's see what happens here between these 2. Okay, Ricciardo goes through. Oof, that's a big moment for me there. Just losing the rear tyres a little bit. Right then, let's try and think about how we're going to make these moves. Well, let's see if we can get Perez here. Through turn 1. I wonder if I can just slide up the inside of 2 and into 3. Or contact, maybe not. I tried it. Wing is still looking okay in terms of condition. I'm just not able to get the same traction as the AI do out there. Ricciardo is absolutely bolted. He's getting on with it. He wants to pull away. He can feel the pressure. He feels under threat. We're going to open up the line here. Get the switch back on Perez once again. Exact same move as last time. But this time we do it on the Mexican. Bit of contact there as he clips my right rear. Right, we should get DRS on Ricciardo here. The question is, can we challenge him into the hairpin? We're going to have to use a lot of engine mode to get this one done. I'll tell you what, if we do this, I don't think it's going to happen though. I think we're too far behind. That's okay, we've got another lap to do it. Alright, easy does it. Patience. We can do this now though. Vettel's only 4 seconds up the road. I'll tell you what guys, something's happened to Seb because he was ahead of Verstappen and he's really dropped off. Could we get a P4 in this race? I need to get by on this lap if I want to have any chance of catching Sebastian. He's
got 2 laps of fuel left.
He's definitely slowing. Sebastian is not that fast. We'll be patient though. Again, same move as last lap. We'll sit back for now. And we'll try and get him maybe... Oh, bit of a mistake from Ricciardo there. That's going to put him offline quite badly. The only problem now is I'm not going to have DRS on this back straight, which is not ideal, but you know what, we'll make it work. Let's see if Ricciardo makes a move on us. He will. I'm saving my overtake. We're going to try and play this tactically. Ricciardo just struggling to get alongside me here. We're going to just sit back. Now we're going to use the overtake. Now we're going to use it to compete on the straight and stay ahead. Down the inside of the hairpin, first gear to get some rotation going. And job done. There we go, P5. Right. A lap and a bit to go. Gap to Seb 3.7. Can we catch him? Let's find out. Right, here we go then. Through the final sector for the final time. What a race. The super aggressive strategy. Medium, soft pays off. Bottas picks up the win in Vietnam and outscores Hamilton once again here in this championship. Meanwhile, I believe Lewis P2. Max will hold on to 3rd. Sebastian Vettel P4. And in the end, we're going to bring home a P5 from P13 in the grid. That is brilliant. Come on. Yes.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Plenty of action here in Hanoi. A memorable race and an impressive victory. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Well then guys, there we go, the results are in. Bottas picks up yet another win ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who gets the fastest lap of the race here today. Verstappen in third, finishing on the podium. Sebastian Vettel P4 in the first of the Ferraris. We bring home another P5. What a result. I believe our best finish of the season so far. I think did we get P5 in Bahrain? I can't even remember anymore, but either way, really good race today, boys. The car was brilliant all weekend. Ricciardo P6, Perez in 7th ahead of Albon, Ocon, Stroll. Leclerc with car issues, missing out on points in 11th place ahead of Gasly, Giovinazzi, Kvyat, Norris, Raikkonen, Schumacher on a 3-stop strategy, the only man to do so. Magnussen, Grosjean, Latifi, Russell and Sainz out the race. So to be fair, credit to Mick. He beat both Williams and Haas cars on a 3-stopper, which is the only man to do so. And I've been looking at it and analysed it. If you take away a pit stop from Schumacher's time, about 20 seconds, give or take, he would have been right up there with Lance Stroll and Ocon, and Leclerc for that battle for the final couple of points. So I think Mick actually had good pace. If you look at his fastest lap, he did a 36.1. That is faster than everyone ahead of him, actually. He's faster than everyone except for Leclerc, who did a 35.9. Mick was faster than everybody. So it goes to show, actually, Mick was a bit unlucky today with that, whatever happened on lap 1, he had that early pit stop, and that 3-stop strategy really hurt him. But in terms of the standings after that race, we move all the way up to P5, only 1 point behind Charles Leclerc. And I tell you what, boys, we're ahead of Verstappen. It's absolutely insane. Schumacher still in the top half, technically, of the table, as you can see him in P13 there, ahead of Alex Albon. So we're both ahead of both respective Red Bull drivers, which is insane. Constructors' Championship, though, we are in 3rd place now ahead of Red Bull and McLaren, which is madness. Really mega. I tell you what, I'm so happy. The season's got off to a great start. We're still 3rd from bottom, but we've got some big upgrades on the way, guys. We've got a major engine one on the way, and we're going to add to that right now. So let's jump to the laptop and let's throw another upgrade onto the car.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
We did. The car was brilliant. It was just sticking to the track. It was unbelievable. Really good fun today.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
It's credit to the team. We've put in a lot of work over the winter. They've been hard at work, bringing the upgrades, working on the facilities, and you're seeing the fruits of the labour now. Simple as that, really.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Right then, let's break down this rivalry. And as you can see, once again, we outscore Lando Norris this weekend. So we are now 4 points up on the British driver. So we're looking pretty damn good, actually, heading into the next race at China and looking good in the rivalry front. Both myself and Mick gain a very good chunk of acclaim. And like I said, Mick was unlucky today. I think he had really good pace, actually, and that 3-stopper really hurt him. So maybe in the next one, Mick can definitely improve, but the acclaim now very close to level 16. We get a full cash bonus once again, 1.3 million going straight into, the total amount. We did have some damage deductions, of course, thanks to my issue in qualifying 2, and I think Mick has some kind of scrap. But other than that, it's still looking great. 7.46 million. That is exactly what you want in terms of your cash flow around the team. Okay, so we are back on the laptop and we have 1,661 R&D points to spend and 7.46 million. So first and foremost, let's go over to the facilities tab. Now, looking at the options going forward, we are going to put another engine upgrade on in this episode. But besides that, looking at the chassis, we still need to work on that part of the car. So what I am going to work on is actually quality control so that upgrades don't fail. So we're going to throw that onto the car. That's going to use up $5 million of our budget. We then move over to the R&D and we're going to go back onto the powertrain and we're going to do this major upgrade for the ERS, the magnetic compound. And hopefully that will help out the ERS deployment. 20% failure chance, which isn't too bad. If I rush it, I could get it before the Chinese Grand Prix. So I'm going to take a chance here because we could have 2 major engine upgrades on the car for the next race. So I'm going to rush it and really hope that pays off and we can get a double engine upgrade heading into the next race. That will leave us with 536 points to spend and we're going to save those for the next episode, which means we're now going to assign some activities. We've got a long turnaround period here until the next race. So let's assign a few activities. First and foremost, I want to work on Mick Schumacher. I want to combine the upgrades with some improved pace for Mick. So reaction training will go in there straight away. We then move on to looking at the options here. I'm thinking vehicle PR filming. Reason being is because it would give us, again, more team acclaim. We can level up quicker and we'll get a small cash bonus as well. And then the final 3 days, I'm tempted to go chassis department focus. I know it's going to lower the morale elsewhere, but we are going to start focusing on the chassis after the Chinese Grand Prix. So we'll do that as well. And there we go. Right, let's skip ahead. Let's hope upgrades arrive. We've got one scheduled for the 12th. You can see there on the calendar. So let's go to the 12th first and let's see if that first upgrade arrives. Okay, so good and bad news. The good news is the standard upgrade did arrive for the engine. The bad news is the rushed upgrade failed. So we're going to throw that on straight away, and that will arrive for the next race for the Dutch Grand Prix. So we'll get that on straight away and get that to work, and that's going to leave us with very little R&D points, 274 points to be exact. But we're now going to skip ahead to the Chinese Grand Prix. And there we go then. We are ready for round number 4. Engine upgrade applied. It was a shame that the rushed one didn't work out. I was really hoping we'd got that in time, because that would have been insane. If so, we could have had a really big improvement on the engine side of things for this race. But still, that's going to keep on improving gradually over time. We do have, of course, the major one in the works, and hopefully we can throw on a chassis upgrade or two heading into race 4, or should I say race 5 actually, at Zandvoort after China. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop me a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, guys, for daily Formula 1 content. It would massively help me out, and I'm trying to hit 50k subs by the end of the year, so any help would be massively appreciated. Also, check out the video on the screen right now, guys, the previous episode, along with the full link to the entire playlist of this series so far. But guys, that's it from me here today, and I'll see you next time for the Chinese Grand Prix.